Greetings. Just returned back from Vegas, coming back to Scottsdale. So I'm back here in Arizona. So I've been kind of contemplating, we did a 5 hour drive driving from Scottsdale to Vegas. And all of a sudden I had all these like impressions and imagery things that were coming through. And so I don't know, sometimes when I go to people's offices or their homes with the Akashic Records, I start just getting more guidance when I'm driving. And so, and you may have this too. So, but eventually what happens is it's going into a human holographic field. And the more that you kind of take a look at that and consider it, these are great ways to process the human's body, what is happening with their body right now. So with that human holographic field, when I was driving again, like I was, it could be kind of moving here and going sideways or in different directions with the holographic field. And then you start noticing, what I start noticing is that when I'm kind of looking at that holographic field, even while I'm driving, and I can perceive it from a different type of vision, and then I would start, looking at some hot spots or some stagnant energy in the holographic field. And so all of these energies that we're working with, and I think a lot of us are already doing this, working with a holographic field and having better experiences, getting more guidance through these images and these thoughts and these impressions. They're very, very succinct and available for everybody. We're moving into, with the holographic field, is moving with the form of energy. And so the form of energy could be just the energy is moving quicker. It may be swift. It may be succinct, or it may just be hovering. Sometimes when that holographic field is that you have opportunities to look at what is energy and how is energy helping me with my divine body. Is there anything else I need to know? Is there anything else I need to do? Is there anything else that I could do to have a better experience with my body? And so these are some great questions when you're working with a holographic field. And the next one is going into some of the qualities of a holographic field. So there's energy, it's pure energy. And so in this state of consciousness with a holographic field, it's void of personality. So it's kind of like when you're, like a little kid and you're on the ground and you've got your little head and you've got your chalk there and you've just got this impression of a body. And again, it's a neutral stance. It's a neutral space. But that void of personality is really engaging with the experience with a holographic field, moving into energy, and just knowing that that void of personality is it's so neutral. When you look at that neutral energy and just know that it could be a male or female, and in this case there's no gender because it's just a form. It's kind of like just this a little bit of a impression of a person, but that is really what's happening, void of personality. And when you're in that field of holographic energies, it's very it's more neutral, and then you can start getting more guidance through that. And also with that no gender is that it's just a slight impression of the outer sphere of the body. And it's just simply there. It's just a semblance of just being, a state of beingness. No gender, and it's just very, very neutral. And also with the human holographic field, we work with a semblance of the human self. So let's just say I'm driving to do an Akashic reading, or possibly through the QHHT. And that semblance of a human self, we might get some guidance from that impression of the holographic field. And in the way I look at it is I feel like it's not inside of me, but it's from a higher plane of consciousness or a higher state, a higher realm of energy. And so when we start looking at the semblance of the human self, we just know that whatever we're going to be creating for the field and whatever happenstance comes through is that we're having better experiences, we're having better things with the body. And that energy, starting with that, the form of energy, the void of personality going into no gender, that semblance of human self is really ready. It's kind of like it's ready. You don't have to like say, okay, we're going to begin now. No, because all that energy is hovering. That human holographic field energy is already hovering. We call it kind of in a way precognitive. Sometimes that precognitive energy comes through, and then all of a sudden you're going to get all the guidance. It comes in very, very, very quickly. So precognition could be part of that through the semblance of human self. So we're going to go to the next one. And so when we're looking at the holographic field, it's in all angles. It could be going in a different direction, or it could be going upside down. It could be going in and out. All of these different perspectives of the holographic field are being shown so that we can find maybe some little hot spots in the body, or maybe there's something else that we need to know. Maybe it could be the thoughts, it could be the feelings, it could be the emotions, it could be past lives or future lives or any other type of life. But that experience in all angles is really showing us that there's more to the story. The more that we go into all angles of this consciousness, we need to have curiosity. Like, what would be best for me right now? What's happening with my digestive tract, or what's happening outside of my field. My field feels like it's not really, it seems kind of like it's stagnant energy outside of my physical body. All of these things are showing up, and I think that that holographic field, that human holographic field, is a great place to begin to access through precognition or different ways that you might consider going into the higher realms and getting more guidance in all angles. And so the next one is we're going to talk about some of these energy streams. So energy streams are always kind of working with us. It's kind of like a snake energy sometimes, or it could be anything. It could be really also relating to the toroidal field. So you could say that there's all these different energies that are part of the holographic field, and you can also perceive it through the toroidal field. Start collapsing here, and then you keep expanding. But those energy streams could be working while you're in that toroidal field and maybe getting a little bit more guidance. The next one is we're talking about spiraling energies. So we're still working with all of the angles of all of the holographic field, moving into the energy streams, moving into the contraction and the expanding with the toroidal field, and now moving into spiraling energies. So let's just say that the angles of the holographic field may be changing and shifting so quickly, and then the energy stream starts kind of moving through, and we can't really discern exactly how that works. But then that toroidal field is just totally succinct, collapsing and expanding in that spiraling energy. So at one point with some of these visions that I've had is that all of that's happening at the same time. All of it's happening with the angles, the energy streams, the toroidal fields, the spiraling energies. All of that is happening at the same time. And so you might think, well, I think I'm going to be a great practitioner doing this, but maybe you don't even need to do that. Maybe when you go into that holographic field or another vision of yourself is that you start noticing that things are clearing in its own way. We don't have to get out of the way. We're just going to be in a space, and just noticing what is happening. And finally, we move into what we call the infusion of light. And through all of that, through the form of energy, void of personality, no gender, semblance of a human self, right? In all angles, energy streams, toroidal fields, spiraling energies, and infusion of light. All of this is conspiring to remind us of our beautiful divinity, our beautiful sense of our higher self, our soul's expressions, any other words that you would like to call it. But I think this is a beautiful space to be in, to have a better clearing. And in some cases, sometimes there could be some releases or some letting go, but we really focus on what the body is suggesting. And then in that essence, maybe some things or emotions might have been stored in the body, but with all of this energy, with a semblance of the human self, angles, the different angles, energy streams, the toroidal field, and spiraling energies, and all of that light, it's already kind of, you don't even have to like talk about releasing or letting go. It's just leaving from that plane of consciousness. And the more that we do this, it's very, very powerful. So sometimes early in the morning when it's around 3 or 4 a.m., I perceive all kinds of different things. It's usually around sometimes it's 3 and then I can't go back to sleep, but sometimes it's 4 o'clock in the morning and we might start perceiving some things. There could be some energies that we're feeling or experiencing. There could be some sound vibrations that are in the field, some sound vibrations. And also sometimes with my different type of vision that I have, is sometimes there's some images there, and some of them are very much in some level of a holographic field, and then it just kind of hovers and then it's gone. It's just totally gone. All of these states of consciousness, again, with a human holographic field, is a great space for giving yourself some time to just go into, like when we were like little kids, you're on the chalk, you got the chalk, and then you got that little frame of your body, and you just focus on just being. You don't have to do anything necessarily, but all of these things are conspiring to help you to feel better, to feel lighter, to feel more happy, more joyful. All of these fields of consciousness through the holographic field, the human holographic field, is really helping everybody going into deeper, deeper, deeper understanding about who we freaking are, people, right? Who we freaking are. So I think that's it for now, and we'll see you soon. And namaste.